Hi, all of you. Good. Am I audible?
Hi, sir.
Yeah. So again, yesterday we saw about the Docker images, everything. Okay. If you remember, we created using the Docker commit. Second, we saw that how to create the image using the Docker. It's where the images basically which we yesterday. Like test Python v1, test Python v2. In the v2, we did not have to hit the command Python 3 always. Okay. And whenever we are launching our machine, test Python v1, so we have to manually hit Python 3. Like this way, there are so many ways you can create the image as per your use cases. Like my OS I created, because in this ifconfig command, wget command will comes with pre-installed. So similarly, today we are going to see that how to create the web server. Basically, the web server which we created on the AWS cloud. So I asked you one time, if you all remember, that you have to create a AWS cloud image, right? AWS image for your web server. So anybody, some of you said that that time that you created, right? All of you remember that when you created the image on the AWS, from the next time you don't have to install the HTTP PHP software. You are simply hosting the EC2 instance with your custom image, and website was getting a photo. All of you remember, or anybody missed that class? Custom image, I think all of you are aware of. So let's continue. Today we are going to create that image, but not with the AWS or something. We'll be creating it with the help of the Docker. So we have to take 2 to 3 things in mind. Okay, the first thing, you have to create a Docker Hub account. Okay. So simply you have to do sign up here to create the Docker Hub account. So hope all of you have the Docker Hub account ready. And this is the Docker Hub website. I'll search it here. So this is the centralized location for all the Docker Hub related images. Even you can upload your custom images here. Okay. Everyone. So let it be loaded. This is my account. Okay, in this account, there's many images I have uploaded, but again, it's totally in your case, it will be totally empty in the starting. First time, whenever you will be uploaded, it will be visible there. So now, what we have to do is, our final goal is to create a web server, okay, in which basically whenever we launch the Docker container, our website should automatically be. Okay. To do this, you have to come here and that what are the steps we are following, okay, to host a website. So anybody remember that what are the steps we used to create the AWS image? Like what are the things we are installing inside that machine? Anybody want to tell? Like first we launched a normal EC2 instance, right? With the Linux AMI, Amazon Linux AMI. Then we installed some software, right? To create our own image. What were the software? Do you remember? Or even in the Ansible, right? Ansible also we try to create the web server. What were the steps we were doing so that website was getting active? DevOps training and that IP address it was put. So you have to just tell me the steps. Anybody? No? Nobody remember? Yeah, make you.
Are we talking about installing HTTP PD
Yeah.
software first?
Yeah, installing HTTPD. After that, that was the one step, right?
Yes. Enable HTTPD and
Enable,
start
enable and start HTTPD. We are writing our website in which language? In the AWS case, PHP, right?
PHP.
PHP we written na ifconfig command. Index.php file we created, if you remember, in our load balancer everything. Index.php. So we have to install the PHP software. We did not write the code in our HTML. We written it in the PHP. So PHP installation should be done. And anybody remember the path where we created that index.php file from our website was visible? Or even in the Ansible class, we copied the index.php file in some location, right? Remember the path? Hmm? Path we used many times, right? In the AWS also, in the Ansible also. In the Linux class also, is when we are starting itself, when we are starting the HTTP. That there is a location, right, where we have to keep all the path, everything. Okay, I'm telling it, but try to revise these all things you have to tell to the interviewer if somebody is asking. That's right. Try to remember all these things. /var /www/s. Try to revise the previous topic also, because everything is dependent, right, in the DevOps. So these are the steps we have to do. Okay. So again, we have to create a Docker file, and in the Docker file, we'll try to do all these things. Okay. Before trying to do, let me duplicate this page. Okay. Duplicate this putty terminal. I'm duplicating this. And here also, let's move on. Now, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to create a directory with the name web server something. Okay. So let's come here, clear this, and let's create a directory with the name web server. Now I'm saying that I'm going inside this web server directory /web server. And here I am creating a file with the name index.php. So va index.php. And in this index.php, we have to write the code. What code I have to write? I have to simply copy paste this code, nothing you have to do anything extra. We simply copy paste. What is the meaning of this? That I will tell you. So I pasted this. The first thing, background color is orange. Okay. Second thing, welcome to test web server. In place of that, you can run it like this way also. Welcome to Apache. Something like this. And then we return some command /usr/spin/ifconfig. Okay. What is the meaning here? Why I am not writing ifconfig? So if you'll see here, if I'm typing here ifconfig, so output is coming. Okay. Even if I'll type /usr/sp/ifconfig, here also output is going to come exactly. Okay. Sometimes what happens when you create the PHP like website, okay, and that website is running on top of the Docker container, so they don't understand the ifconfig directly, right? Because I said you that in a starting that we have to manually install the ifconfig software, everything, because by default in the Docker container is not there. So rather than just giving the command, we give the actual path, because whenever you are hitting the ifconfig command, they are running this command entirely, right, in the background. So that's why you have to just give /usr/sp/ifconfig. Or you can directly ask from here also, like which ifconfig. So you get the option called /sp/ifconfig. So like this way, you can whatever the path you are getting that you have to write. Okay. Now, once this is necessary and this is created, simply you have to save this file, okay, and your index.php file is ready. This is the half of work is completed. Second thing, I'm going to create a Docker file. I'm creating a Docker file. Again, Docker file is meaning everything will be saved. In this Docker file, the first thing we always write is, remember from the yesterday class, the first thing we have to always write is, anybody? No? Yesterday we created 2 to 3 times Docker file, right? Nobody remember? Okay, maybe command you don't remember, but at least you remember, right? That what are the way we are doing, what are the steps we are following in the Docker file. Yesterday, when I created the Python Docker file, what are the steps I did? Do you remember that at least? Yeah. So all of you don't make any notes or something like that on pen and paper whenever we are doing, or you do the classes parallelly, like whatever I'm practically I'm doing here. Do you do it parallelly, or how is it? All of you, can you just give me answer for this? Are you doing the work parallelly, or you are just seeing the lecture like that? How it is? Nobody is doing the lab parallelly, right? See, whatever the things is there now, it's always better whenever you are learning now, take some pen and paper. Okay. And whatever the things extra you are seeing in this lecture that you think that you can easily forget. So simply try to note it down. Okay. You'll be getting the documents, you'll be getting the lab. That is the different thing, right? But if you try to note it down, just take an example. We got something new point like a Docker file. That is a new term for us. Okay. So we can note it like what we are using it. So in that case, you can easily remember, right? Because at last, see, you have to tell all these things in interview, right? In the interview cannot be the blank. Yeah, and that's why I always keep asking. But if you not tell it, I don't know. Interviewer will also ask, right? So that time what you will do? By keeping silent will not give you the right. That's why try to at least speak. This is your practice session, right? Here nobody is going to judge you. Just try to understand. From starting, I am keep telling that even if you not know, just quickly say that we forgot. That's all. We are not going to say anything, but just try to say, speak up, because that is the most important thing. So hope from now on, everybody will do. So the first thing we always write the base image, right? So do you remember in the Python, which base image we are using yesterday? Base image was which one? Which operating system we are using as a base image? When I created the Python, we written from, and then we are giving some image, right? So do you remember from which base image we are creating that? Base image also you all forgot. CentOS 7. CentOS 7. So we have to take the base image as CentOS 7. Now we have to write something. Okay. So whatever the steps you said that in starting that we have to do this thing. I have to install the HTTPD software. I'll simply write run yum install HTTPD, and we'll have to install one more software here. After HTTPD, we have to install the PHP also. So let's write PHP here also. Okay. And you know that we are going to run the ifconfig command. So is the ifconfig command is going to be by default available? No. So we have to download the ifconfig command also. And yesterday I showed you that ifconfig command is coming from which software? NetTools. Okay, so these things also I have to write it here. HTTP, PHP, NetTools. Okay, so this all software will be going to install -y. Okay, and I written the exact same thing here from CentOS 7 run yum install HTTPD, PHP, NetTools -y. Once we done this, then we created a index.php file already, right? In our previous step, if you remember, we created this PHP file, right? So what I have to do is I have to copy this index.php file. Okay, where I have to copy it to this location /var/www/s. Okay. Now our website was running on which port? Our website was running on port T. Okay, it is the HTTP website. That's why we have to say that I'm going to expose the port 80. Okay, so it will be visible to other person. Expose means just like you are exposing the service. Okay, I will expose the 80 port, then only people from outside the container will be able to see the website. Okay, so it is necessary. Now we have to run some command here, right? So cmd for command. Then which command I have to run? So you said only that I have to enable and start the HTTPD, right? So if you come here in a new tab, okay, that we created previously, here if I try to hit systemctl, it is HTTP. I think currently HTTP will not install. Okay, so let's install the HTTP, but I'm not doing in the Docker. I'm doing on the AWS itself, right? So I'm just installing the HTTP here. HTTP is installed. Now, if I try to start the HTTP, so there are two ways. Either you can hit the command systemctl start HTTP. Okay, so whenever you are hitting the command systemctl start HTTP, they are running some command in the background. What is the command? So if I do systemctl status HTTP, they are saying that when you started us, okay, I hit this command. Okay, so simply copy this command and paste it here in this one. CMD, I want to run this command. I cannot say systemctl or anything because systemctl command is not going to work in the case of your Docker container. Okay, so you have to use this path. And once that you copy it, so simply remove this HTTPD software from base machine. I don't want to keep it here, so I want to remove it again. Okay, so software is removed. So you have to just remember in place of systemctl start HTTPD, we are giving this path from where we got the path by just using the command systemctl status HTTP. There we saw that this is the path they are using. Like this way, once this is created and you done the base image will be sent to S7, install the software, these things, copy the index.php file, expose the port 80, start the service. Simply save this file. Now what we have to do is in this location, now there are two files there. One is the Docker file, one is the index.php. Inside the Docker file, I said that whatever the index.php content is there, that you have to copy inside the var/www/html location of the Docker image. Okay. So now I have to simply say Docker. I want to build this image, build, give -t. And what you have to give is, like take an example, you created the Docker Hub account. Okay. So whatever the username in your case will be there, that username you have to write. Okay. In my case, my username is this one. I will write it. Then give slash, and then whatever the name of the image you want to keep it. Okay, so take example, I'm keeping it. Web server. Now, and let's give the tag cloud 19. Okay, and something tag I'm giving the latest. This is the latest. It will be something look like this. Okay, Docker build -t. This is the image I given. Okay, for your reference, and it will take the Docker file from which location /. That's all. Now I will just hit this. This whatever things you written in the Docker file, they are going to do all the steps one by one. Okay. Why this image name always try to follow? in the starting, it should be your username, whatever the username you have, that you have to use it. Okay. Second thing, web server cloud 19 latest. Okay. Somebody is asking me this. Let's go to resource. See, Docker used for many purposes, but this is the base thing, okay, for which Docker do. Docker is meant to create the image to start the operating system, right? Because in starting itself, I cleared you, right? That there are 4 different ways of operating system installation. Docker is the faster one. I don't know after 3 days why this question is coming in. But in starting only, in the first lecture only, we discussed about 4 different ways. When I don't know how many, his voice is breaking to all of you. Because in this class only, I see that voice is breaking something. Because I attend other classes also, but there nobody complains. I don't know why. Is it voice breaking? I don't know what's happening.
Fine.
It's fine, right?
Yes, thanks.
So Ram, it's always the issue from your side on. Okay, so you have to check your proper internet connection, or maybe whatever the connectivity you are doing it for your headphone. Because every time I hear it from you, that voice is breaking. Just see that. Okay, so Docker build -t. You have to give the username, in your case, whatever the username is. After that, whatever the name you want to give, and just give the latest tag or whatever the tag, like version 1, version 2. So I'm going to give the latest tag. That's press enter. So see, they are taking the base image into S7. They are installing the HTTP software first, then they will install PHP, and at last they will install the net tools. So see, they are doing all the work. HTTP is installed, PHP is installed, net tools is installed. Okay. Net tools, PHP, like this way. After this, they copied the index.php file also, they expose the port 80 also, and they run the command called http for node also, and they successfully built this image also. Okay. Once this everything is done, simply come here, write the command docker images. You'll see that one image is created. And see, size of the image, it is a little bit more now, 453 MB. Why? Because it contains some extra software, right? Net tools, HTTPD, PHP, and this is the new image we created. Once this image is created, so from now on, whenever you try to start this container, everything, okay, what will happen? Your website is going to be active automatically. Okay, so let me show you something like this. So take an example, I'm going to start a new container from this image. So I have to simply say Docker, I want to run, okay, a container, and -it we always use for the terminal. Then we have to give the name. So take an example, name is I am giving as something WebOS1. Okay, WebOS1. And image we are going to take is this one, whichever we created now. So I guess it's less web server. And if you will not write anything after cloud 19, nothing like this latest, you are not writing it. Okay. So automatically they will take the latest one. Okay, that's why I written here latest. Like in 1.2 case also automatically it is latest only. Okay. But if it is something different like V1 or V2, then you have to type it here like this, 1 and V2. But if it is latest, so you cannot type it anything, automatically it will take the latest one. And now if we'll try to see one more thing here, currently we are going to start a container with the name WebOS1. This will be the image. Okay. But for what purpose we are using this image, that you have to understand. We are using this image because it is going to host a website. And that website is running on which port? It was running on port 80. So how your Docker container will be able to know that this website is running on port 80? So I have to expose it, right? So other person from the outer world will also able to see. Now, your website or your Docker container is running at which location? Your Docker container is running on AWS cloud, right? So inside this EC2 instance, your Docker container is running. So what is the public IP of your EC2 instance? This is the public IP, right? So I have to expose the service of the Docker container to this IP address, right? So because from the outer world, how you can connect to this EC2 instance using this public IP only, right? There is no any other way possible. If you will have the public IP, then only can do the proper connectivity. Like even if I will copy this public IP, I'll paste it in the browser, then only I'll be able to see the website URL also, everything. So same thing we have to mention that our website is running, okay, on the port 80. What you have to do is you have to transfer that traffic of the port 80 to the port 8081 of our EC2 instance. This is the meaning. I'm saying Docker, you have to run, okay, a container with the name webos1. Okay, image you have to take this one, and I know that inside my container, my website will be running on the port 80. Okay, that port 80 website you have to transfer it to the port 8081 of our EC2 instance. Okay, so now what is going to happen? They are going to start a container. And let's start the container in the background. If you want to start the container in the background, because I don't want to hit any command inside container, right? Previously in the test Python 3 or something, we are going inside that, we are hitting the command Python 3, then we are writing some code or something. Right? But in this image, I don't have to write any code. Everything is already written. Index.php file is already written. Service is automatically started. So I can start this container in the background automatically. I don't have to go inside. And if you remember in the AWS also, we are doing the same thing. Once the image is created, then whenever we are launching the EC2 instance from that image again, I don't have to go inside it, right? Because everything is already set up. So why I want to do that? So that's why you can give D for daemon. Will launch it in the background. Simply press enter. And see, they started the container and they did not give you any interactive terminal or something where you can run the command. Now if I do Docker, can you show me the PS? So they are saying one container got started. Okay. And what is the meaning of this container started? So they are saying this is your container ID. This is the image from your container started. Okay. You talked about the interactive terminal. That's why I run this command. Okay. In this interactive terminal, we hit the command user spin / httpd foreground, whatever the command in a starting window that is coming here. It started 10 seconds ago. It took me around 2 seconds to start it. Okay. Because I have to download it from the internet, right? And now they are saying that if somebody will come to your machine, okay, come to my EC2 instance on the port 8081, okay, then I will transfer this traffic to the port 80 of the Docker container. Okay, so here also they are clearly saying that if somebody will come to the port 8081 of your EC2 instance, I will transfer that traffic to the port 80 of webOS. Okay. So if you don't understanding this part, how this 8081 traffic is going to be diverted to the port 80 of the Docker container, so let me show you. Currently, if you'll see here, there is a command called netstat-tnl. I'm hitting this command in the EC2 instance. So in the EC2 instance side, you are seeing that they are saying that a port 8081 is created. Okay. And what this port 8081 is doing, this is a Docker proxy. Okay. That means if somebody is visiting your website, okay, on the port 8081, they will automatically transfer this traffic to the port 80 of the Docker container, because inside this Docker container, our website is running on the port 80. Now, how you can see that whether your website is running or not? So simply come here, and this is our public IP. Here we have to go to the which port? 8081. Because I said that if somebody is coming to the port 8081 to my machine, okay, what you have to do? You have to take the traffic from the port 80 of the Docker container. So just press it enter. And currently we'll see that this is not loading anything because it is going to fail. So again, if I'll ask you that, do you know why this port 8081 is not going to open? Something related to AWS security. So anybody want to tell?
Is the port listening on a port in the AWS instance?
Yeah, that's correct. In the security session, we did not open the port 8081. Since we did not open the port 8081, nobody can go inside this. Okay, and eventually it is going to fail. What I have to do is I have to come here in the security group section, whatever attached to my EC2 instance. And I will go here in the inbound rule. Inbound rule is basically whoever can come inside me, right? So they are saying that anybody with the port 80 access can only come, or whether anybody with having the access of port 22 can. Okay. So what I have to do is I have to edit inbound rule. Let's give the IP or something like this. Anybody can come, custom TCP let it be, and port I'm saying 8081. Okay. Not only 8081, I'm going to launch multiple container to show you something. So what I'm doing is from 8081 to the port number 8086, I'm opening everything. So now which port is going to open? 8081, 8082, 8083, 8084, 8085, 8086. Like this way, you can do the range also. See, that's why it is writing it as a port range, not only port. You can mention one port only, and you can mention the range of port also. Now do custom to anywhere, from anywhere in the world they can access it. Simply save the row. Now if you'll see, custom TCP is created from the port 8081 to 8086. Now if I'll refresh this page, our website is this one. But this website is running where? This website is running on welcome to Apache web server running on Docker. Okay, that index.php page which we created here, if you'll see, we created a index.php page, right? And this page only we copied inside that. So it is coming from here. Welcome to Apache web server running on Docker. Now, since that container is running, Docker PS, this container is running. That's why you are able to see this website here. Okay, and it is running on port 8081 in the base machine. So somebody is hitting this URL. So see, if take an example, I just given you this URL. Okay, and I'm not saying you, I just copied this and I'm pasting it in chat. If you open this, you'll also see the website. Okay, but will you able to ever know that this website is running in Docker container? No, for you, it will be like, okay, it is running on some EC2 instance, which have the public IP this one and port this one. That's all. But in background, they are transferring this traffic to the Docker container. How I can prove you? So everybody can click on this link. Just try to open this URL in your browser. Just do a little bit. We have to explain 2 to 3 concepts. Sort of. Everybody able to see this? Now, once you are able to see this, now what I'm going to do is I'm stopping this container. Okay. To stop any container, what I have to do, simply say Docker. I want to stop the container. Which container? Web OS. If I'll stop this, I am not stopping EC2 instance or something. I'm just stopping the container. Now, if I do Docker PS, nothing is running. Docker PS-A, so that container is in the stop state. Okay, this one is in the stop. Now, if you try to refresh this page, you are not going to see the website. Okay, this website is going to be gone after some. Even you can try. Your case also it will be say site can't be reached. Okay, that means it was coming from the Docker container. Now, if somebody is coming on the port 8081, okay, but since our proxy everything is closed, like if I hit the command -stat -tnlp, just -stat. So -stat -tnlp. You see here port 8081 is not visible, nothing like this, right? Because Docker container is stopped, so that's why there is no Docker proxy. Now again, somebody is coming here. Docker, can you start this web OS one again? I will start this automatically. If we do -stat -tnlp, you'll see that port 8081 automatically came. Okay, because this port 8081 is transferring the traffic to the Docker. And if I'll refresh this page, again our website is going to come back. Okay, so like this way you can do it, and from now you can be sure that this 8081 is transferring your traffic inside the Docker. Docker container is running, then only you'll be able to see the website, else you'll be not. Similarly, if you remember from the previous topic, in one machine, I can run only one website, right? Like if I have to balance the load, what we done in the AWS lecture, we created 2 different EC2 instance, okay, and we attach it to the classic load balancer, and then every time that website is coming from the different machine, okay. So basically, we are running the 2 different EC2 instance. Now, this is a single EC2 instance, okay. Inside this only, if I want to create one more Docker container, okay, so simply what I will do, I will say the command Docker. I want to run. Again, I want to run it in the background. That's why giving -dit, okay, and name of my container will be this time web OS 2, something like this. Okay, image I have to use this one, same Roy Kishan 8 / web server cloud 19. Make it bigger. Web server cloud 19. And one thing is missing, that is the port. Okay, we have to say again port. And I cannot give the again port 8081 only because 8081 is getting currently used, right? So this time I can give 8082. And if somebody will come to the port 8082, you have to transfer the traffic to the port 80 of this container, WebOS 2, not of the WebOS 1, to the WebOS 2. Just press it. Container is created. Now if I do Docker PS, so two container is running. Okay. One is running WebOS 1, one is running WebOS 2. If you'll hit the IP address port of 8082, then you are going to reach to the WebOS 2 container. If you are going to hit the IP address 8081, so it is going to the WebOS 1. And since we already opened both the port in the security group, so again, I'm copying this URL. Here you are seeing what is the IP address 17.0.2. If I hit this here, let me copy this. Here I have to access it on the port 8082, press enter. See, this is coming from different machine, 0.3. This is coming from 0.2. So on the same EC2 instance, I was able to launch two Docker containers, right? I don't have to pay 2 times to the AWS, right? Because previously we are launching two EC2 instance, so AWS will be charging for two EC2 instances. Now AWS will be charging only for one EC2 instance, because inside that we are creating the two different containers. Similarly, if you want to create one more time, so again, just hit the same command, okay, and just change the name. Name should be always different. Container name should be always unique. So WebOS 3. Port should be always be unique. You already mapped the port 8081 and 8082. So you have to go with some different port, 8083. Just press enter, a new container is launched. Simply again do one more time. And this time map it to the 8084 and give the WebOS name as 4. Press enter, one more container launch. And one more time I'm going to give. So I want to launch total 5 and 8085. So now total 5 container is running. You can verify using the command docker ps. They are saying if you are going to hit the port 8081, you will be redirected to WebOS 1 container, 8082, WebOS 2, 8083, WebOS 3 like this. So all is running like a different EC2 instance you can create. And all have been showing you the different IP address. Now you can balance the load also. I will simply copy this again. I will hit the 8083 URL. Even you can try. Just hit the URL by changing the port. Up to 8085 will be able to see. Just remove this 8082 to 8083, then check for 8083. Every time you will see this IP address is going to be changed. Okay, this is directing the traffic to your name. So can you quickly check everyone? Try to check from 8081, 8082, 8083, 8084, 8089 up to here it is. Okay, so like this way you'll be able to see the future. Yeah, in single EC2 instance, you can create multiple ports in between them. Okay. So like this way, we are able to create, right? And all these are so fastly loading. See, Docker is faster, so we can post the new container, everything in quick time. Okay, and that's why we are going it. See, just I was hitting the command, one more container is getting run. Like I will just hit this command. What I have to do, I have to just change the name, WebOS 26. Yes, WebOS 26. I have to change the port. Let's give the port as 8086 and I'll do WebOS 6. That's all. I'll press enter, automatically one container got started. And somebody will just change this IP from 8085 to 8086, they will be able to see the names. It is the faster. Okay, that is the thing. But again, in the security group, I opened till the 8086, so only up to 8086 website will be used. Okay. If I increase the range from 8081 to 8090, then it can go up to like this way you can do always. Now, once this image, everything is created, okay, for our work, what we have to do is we have to push this image to here. Okay, like even you want to use this image, you want to create this, and if you don't want to write the Docker file again, so what you can do, you can directly download the image from here. Okay? So to do this, what you have to do is the first thing. First, you have to make sure that your image is created. Yeah. Just give me a second.
Sir, good morning. We are installing the HTTPD for it is using for only global connection only.
Come again?
Sir, we are installing the HTTPD now. I'm install HTTPD. This is
Where you
using
are
for
doing?
only for global installing.
Where you are hitting the command yum install HTTPD?
Starting, we are installing yum install HTTPD.
No, we written it in the inside the Docker file, right?
In the Docker, we are installing the HTTPD.
Yeah, so in the Docker it is installing. So that is written it inside the container, na? Docker images they are creating. It is not in the global, right? See, this HTTPD software is not running in EC2 instance. Now, if I hit the command here, systemctl status HTTP, do you think that HTTP is running here? No, it is not running here. It is not in the global. That HTTP software is running inside that image from wherever you are running the container. Like when I installed the ifconfig command, everything yesterday. Okay. So I was installing inside the image, not inside our EC2 instance. In the EC2 instance, ifconfig was already always present. So why I will install it here? Whatever the things we are doing it in the different image level, right? This Amazon Linux is just a base thing that where you can run the Docker software. That's all. But once the Docker is ready, then everything is at another virtual environment that you have to understand. Okay. Now, once this thing is done, then what you have to do is you have to push the image. So before pushing the image, make sure that whenever you are hitting the command Docker images, okay, so your image name is starting with your username of your Docker Hub account or not. Okay, if your Docker Hub account username is this one, then only you can write it like this way. Okay, just to make sure. Then you have to simply say Docker, I want to log in. Okay. They will ask you for the username. Give the username. For my Docker Hub account, this is my username. Then they are asking for the password. The password is succeeded, login succeeded. Okay. Now, once the login is succeeded, now I have to simply say Docker, I want to push which image? This image. Roy Kisanet. Yes, web server. This is the image which we created. Simply say Docker, I want to push this. That's all. They are going to upload this image on the Docker Hub. Okay. So this image is pushed. Now, where this image will be visible, if I'll refresh this. In the Docker Hub, see, this is the image came here. Okay, this last pushed a few seconds ago. So from here, you can upload this. Now from here, anybody can download it. Might just click on this download button or take an example, somebody deleted this image from like if there is an image present here, if I want to delete this image, what I have to do, I have to simply hit the command Docker. I want to remove image. So RMI, keep the image. That's all. This image is going to be deleted. Why I am deleting this? Because this image is already uploaded. Why they are saying that they are not able to remove? Because there are some container currently running. These all container are using the same image, so I cannot delete it. So to do this, I already said you yesterday some command docker remove -f. Then you have to give the dollar symbol, give the bracket, the docker container ls -a-q. It is going to delete everything in a single. Once it is deleted, simply hit the command docker remove I. This image is also deleted. Once this image is deleted, Docker, can you show me the list of images? See, that image is gone. Now, how I can get back that image? I will simply say Docker. There is an image available in the Docker Hub. Okay. I already uploaded it. And the image name was this one, Roy Kissanet / anybody can download it. Even you can hit this command, your Docker also, your image, this image is going to be done. Web server, Cloud9. That's all. This is image is available in the Docker hub. They can directly download. See, they are by default, they are taking the tag latest and they are downloading it. They are extracting it. Now, if somebody will do Docker images, again that image came back for 53 MB. It was created 23. Now again, you can start the container. Everything will be going to the as it is, whatever you do. So this was about the Docker, but and after this we are going to start with the Kubernetes. Okay, but before starting to the Kubernetes, I want that everybody should complete this Docker practical, because if you don't complete the Docker practical in the Kubernetes, you are not going to understand a single part. So for this, can you tell me like how many days you can take to complete this Docker practical practice? How many days you will be able to complete? Today is Thursday, tomorrow will be Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday will be there. So will you able to complete over this weekend this Docker lab entire? And will you able to upload your image in this Docker hub? Because I want to see the image from all of you. You can take the help of the video, you can again create it, but here I want to see your images. I will search it here with your username, and I want that your image should be visible, something like this. Yeah, I will give your username / and I should able to can do. What about others? Will you able to do it by this weekend? Can I assume that on Monday if we'll connect, then on Monday everybody will be completed this Docker, everything will be ready with this image push. Yeah, Ram.
In docker.com, how can we see that images in Roy Kishan?
This
In
one,
the teaser.
you have to open the Docker app, okay, and inside it, just take an example. I'm signing out, okay. I'm signing out. That means nobody is signed up, so I'm not able to see the image, whatever this is done. But I can simply come here and I can explore my image. /web server, okay, cloud. And you see this image is coming here in the community, like in the AWS also we done that. So see, it was updated 4 minutes ago. One pull happened. Currently, I just pull the code. And if you want to download this, you have to just hit this code. They are also giving you the code. Okay. So like this way only, I will be able to give your username and I will be able to see this. Will you able to complete Docker practical by this weekend, everybody? Because before completing the Docker, we cannot learn Kubernetes. Kubernetes is totally dependent on the Docker.
By using this space.
Which space?
Somebody creating some websites also, web pages like that.
I'm not understanding what you want to ask.
By using this space, can some people, some end users, some in development area, that people can create any web pages?
Yeah, they can create that. Like currently, I just given a simple web page, right, where it was showing the welcome to DevOps training, something like this, right? Now,
Okay, suppose can we increase the allocated space?
Allocated space for what?
For 495 MB, like that we allocated, after that not sufficient, that that space.
That is not that is not 495 is of the size, right? That is not RAM. That is the volume size of your image, right? If you are downloading some image from the internet of your Windows or something, that is for that purpose, not for this.
Okay.
You're not allocating any RAM or something to the Docker, right? In the starting of the theory, we already discussed. Then there is no utilization you have to give it. That's why Docker is faster, right? In the Docker, if the Docker requires 1 GB of RAM, they will ask to the host machine at that point of the time only. They will not reserve it. Okay, what I shown you in the Oracle VirtualBox or something, they reserve the RAM automatically. Okay, and that's why there is a limitation on there. But in the 1 GB RAM machine, you are able to see I was able to run 6 containers parallel. Okay, so that is the benefit of the Docker. that whatever the size 453 MB you are saying, that is the image size, not your RAM size or something. Okay, that is the image size. That means whatever the software is coming with that image, that operating system size is that. Okay. Like this is my hard disk, right? See, this is my hard disk. You cannot say to the Windows that Windows, why you are taking a 16 GB RAM or 17 GB hard disk space in the C drive? Because 16 GB or 10, 20 GB, whatever the space they are taking in the C drive, that they are taking it because whatever the things you are seeing it here, the icon of this PC, icon of home, everything is coming from that Windows only, right? That's why in C drive, most of the space are taken care by the Windows itself. That is a totally different. I will say you first revise the document, then see the practical, okay, and everybody try to do complete this practical. And for that purpose only, I am going to leave you for tomorrow. Tomorrow will not have any class, okay. Try to complete this Docker, see this video, and try to complete all these things. Okay, I want that on Monday everybody will be created this image like this and uploaded it in their Docker.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Actually, suppose the website, suppose the people designing website, they have maintained some the very huge space. Automatically, this space is increase, I think. Is it right?
Which page is going to increase?
Suppose web page is 100 web, the website is having 100 pages, 100 pages. So suppose that this website needs some more space allocate. We automatically allocate increase the space in this
Automatically.
area.
Yeah, definitely. Automatically it will be increased.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So whenever container will require more RAM, they will automatically get directly asked for the operating system. But in our case, currently we are hosting only 1 GB RAM machine. Okay, so maximum they can take only up to 1 GB RAM, right? If we are launching this same Docker container, or we are running our Docker in a machine of 8 GB RAM, so maximum our container can take up to 8 GB. Okay, so like this way, you have to increase the base resource system. That is, okay, but it can take the resources whenever they will require. Okay. So, okay, so just try to do this. Tomorrow will not have the class. Try to complete this. Try to create your image everybody. Thanks all of you. Have a nice day. And please complete this lab.
Thank you, sir.